Hello, I thought I'd make another video on the Rural King RK24 tractor. I've got a few thousand views from those videos, so there's a little bit of an interest anyway. But what I did today, I'll show you just in a second. I got to give you some backstory real quick. So, where I live in Kentucky, it's in the eastern part, it's really mountainous. So there's not a lot of flat land to build. So everybody builds. So you got a mountain going up that way and a mountain going up that way, and everybody builds in the bottom where it's kind of flat. We call this a holler. It's actually H-O-L-L-O-W, but everybody calls it a holler. If I said it was a hollow, I'd get made fun of. So it's a holler. There used to be some houses. There was a small one right there. There was the driveway. Actually, I think they had a little shed over there. Then there was another one or two here. There's a brick house, nice brick house there, but the gentleman died and the grass is growing up. Actually, I'm planning on using the tractor with the brush hog attachment to come down here and cut this out because it looks bad. But anyway, when the coal market, the economy here is entirely dependent on the coal market. Coal industry. In 2008, when the coal industry went basically bankrupt, they made a little bit of a comeback lately, but not much. But the whole economy went with it, including all the tax base. So the county government's responsible for doing all the grass cutting up and down the street, or the hollow roads. And it's important because this is a one-lane road. And if you meet somebody, you have to get off the road to let them by. So like there's a wide spot here, or sometimes people will even get over there. But if they don't cut the grass, then you can't exactly tell where you're going. Actually, this part through here, I cut maybe a month ago with the brush hog attachment on the tractor. But where it's so slanted, I couldn't get over very far. But what I did today was this mess down here. I want to come back and plant some grass, but this had, we call them creek weeds, but it's that right there. They're an Asian plant. They brought over from Asia in the 1800s. You kind of think of them like kudzu. It's not quite as, they're not viney like kudzu, but they're thick and they've got no natural predators, no bugs, no nothing that really eats them. So they just grow and they thrive, and they must be water loving because you mainly only find them here. And it usually happens whenever the county brings fill dirt to fill up beside the road. It's usually filled with those types of weeds. So every place that they put fill dirt, you get those plants right there. And they were about this tall, and they were all the way up against the road here. So when you drove by them, they were hitting the cars and stuff. And you can see, I mean, the road is 10 feet wide, probably, and you still couldn't get over far enough to get away from the weeds. So what I did with the tractor, there was too much going on. I couldn't film it and drive at the same time. But I'd come over here and take the boom out and just knock those plants down with it's like basically like a big one of these. Knocked them down. You can see them. And then I just came in here and just scalped the top 2 inches of dirt off so that it'd be harder to come back. And then I'm trying to smooth it out a little bit. So the county, they used to come through here and do this 2 or 3 times a year, and now we're lucky if they do it once a year. So that's the reason I'm doing this, is because the county don't do it anymore. But I mean, that's what it used to look like, similar to that. So I didn't disturb the ground too much, it's just the grass and the weeds. But there's so much poison ivy mixed in with all that. I don't really want to get in there with a weed eater and cut it up, unless I wanted to be covered head to toe with some kind of suit or something, but it's too hot for that. So I'm doing it with this. And I guess it's kind of like a workout plan too. But whenever they do come up here with the county, usually what they do one swipe coming up and one swipe going down. And if they see any obstacle over here, then they just skip it. So like I'm getting down here around this tree, like where they wouldn't normally cut the tree, it just leaves a bunch of weeds around the tree. So I'm planning on getting that. And oh, here's some undisturbed